So I'm going to read it for you. Article number 37 from Centesimus, Annus, written by Saint Pope John Paul II. Equally worrying is the ecological question which accompanies the problem of consumerism and which is closely connected to it. In his desire to have and to enjoy rather than to be and to grow, man consumes the resources of the earth and his own life in an excessive and disordered way. At the root of the senseless destruction of the natural environment lies an anthropological error which unfortunately is widespread in our day. Man who discovers his capacity to transform and in a certain sense create the world through his own work forgets that this is always based on God's prior and original gift of the things that are. Man thinks that he can make arbitrary use of the earth, subjecting it without restraint to his will, as though it did not have its own requisites and a prior God-given purpose, which man can indeed develop but must not betray. Instead of carrying out his role as a cooperator with God in the work of creation, man sets himself up in place of God and thus ends up provoking a rebellion on the part of nature, which is more tyrannized than governed by him. In all this, one notes first the poverty or narrowness of man's outlook, motivated as he is by a desire to possess things rather than to relate them to the truth, and lacking that disinterested, unselfish and aesthetic attitude that is born of wonder in the presence of being and of the beauty which enables one to see in visible things the message of the invisible God who created them. In this regard, humanity today must be conscious of its duties and obligations towards future generations. Centesimus Annus, written by Pope John Paul II, article number 37, puts it very bluntly. Man is the insurgent species. He doesn't obey. And he breaks every rule, ecological rule. All other creatures, they are submissive to the will of this planet and the will of the Father. But only one species is insurgency, and we rebel, and we don't want to follow any rule. Humans, especially man, thinks that he is above the law, and he is not subjected to the law. All other creatures, they know very well, they are all subjected to the law. If they want to live on this planet Earth, you have to play some rules, and you have to follow some rules. And life is a game, and if you play foul game, you will be evicted out of the game. You are out. You get a red card, you know that. Football, you always watch. The man who gets a red card is thrown out of the game. So I think man and human beings have got red card, red card, red card. So every human being, 7 billion of us, we have only red card because we never followed any rules. So in the game of life, I think we are the loser. So we become cosmic orphan in the God's universe. Insurgency will make you an orphan. When you destroy everything, when you empower everything without solidarity and kinship, when you exploit the nature without any limits, I think you become an orphan, because you kill them all. At last only one species remain on earth, that is humans. So you are orphan. All the animals dead, plants dead, insects dead. When they are all gone, obviously human activity is the cause. Then humans became a cosmic orphan in God's universe. So I think we are the insurgent son of nature. So I think we shouldn't do that. That's what Pope John Paul II is writing. Instead of carrying his role as a caretaker of this creation, he takes the place of God himself. He proclaims that he is the God and he is exploiting nature, and he is not taking care, rather he is tyrannizing the nature. That is what he is writing. So its writing is so beautiful, and Pope John Paul II says, when you see nature, you should see as a mystery, as a being. Everything is the representation of God himself. It's a revelation of God. The mountains, the trees, the animals, the insects and land, water, elements, it's all revelation. It's a representation of God himself. When you see God's presence in everything, we will have less taste for abusing them, less taste for exploiting them. I think we will instill some reverence and dignity towards creation and nature. So when you get chance, please, you take Centesimus Annus, written by Pope John Paul II. Go to the article number 37 and you will read and you will understand better. And thank you, and God bless.